So I'm here today to attempt to do my first WIP and chat. So I'm here today, it's a Thursday and it's first thing in the morning and the kids are gone to school, my husband's at work. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a shot. I've wanted to do it for a while. So I thought what better one to start off than this partial bicycle that I picked up. And it's the one that says life is a beautiful ride. I did do an unboxing for this painting. So I will put a link in the description showing the unboxing of this. I believe I picked this one up from Wish. So let's get started. I'm not sure how the camera angle is going to work out. I've put it kind of directly above the painting and kind of zoomed in. So you guys will have to let me know in the comments below if you like this angle or if you think it would be better pointed to the side. So you'll just put a comment in the, oh my gosh, put a comment down below. Let me know how you like it. So since this is a small painting, I'm gonna actually pull the whole cover up and we're gonna lay it down carefully because in case I don't finish it in this setting, I'm gonna wanna be able to put the plastic back on. And for those who don't know, there is two sides of this plastic. So if you put it on upside down, it'll be super hard to get off. Also, because this is such a small painting, I didn't kit up the gems. I have them all still here in the package. So I'm just gonna take them out as I need them. And because I have 50 million of these little green boats, I've just pulled out enough for the colors that I have in the painting, and then I will put, sort my gems in them with the bags underneath them to try and keep them straight. So I have that set up. And I have my beautiful pen here. This is a pen that I actually won in a prize. It is one of the acrylic pens and it's a prize I won from the handmade diamond painting pen. I totally don't think I have that correct. It is a group on Facebook, so I will also put in the description below a link on their page. And the wait time for them is super long. So I think, oh gosh, I don't even know what the wait time is anymore. If it's 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it's gotta be more than that. But my number is coming up soon. So I'm super excited. I have my pens picked out. So one wait number will equal one pen, except I believe if you're international, and then you get a choice of, you can choose two. So I'm gonna open this up. Sorry for the noise. We'll toss it to the side and we'll pick a color to get started. So I'm gonna start with my number 2, which is bag number 2. So painting aside so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Cut this off. So my light is pretty good here right now. Let's hope that that keeps up. We are supposed to get quite a bit of rain here today. I'm in Ontario, Canada. And I shoot all my videos in my kitchen on my island, because right above my island I have overhead lighting, and you know, not that I pre-planned or anything, but the lights that I put in up there are what's called smart light bulbs. So I have 3 settings. So the settings I have are like a light set the mood type of setting. I have a regular light, and then I have a natural light setting. So that's the setting that I put on when I shoot my videos, and it creates a natural light so you don't get that yellow glare on your video. So I do that for shooting all of my YouTube videos, and I also do that for when I shoot pictures. So I do a lot of pictures of cards and stuff because I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator as well. So I shoot for my Facebook page and my Instagram, nice pictures of my cards. So I want to make sure that I don't have that yellow glare on there. Because I want to try and get as natural as possible. And it's so hard when you shoot videos, because I even do demo videos of my cards on, it's a different YouTube channel. It's so hard to get pictures and videos to come up with it showing the actual color of something, right? Like, so tons of times you'll see like the YouTube videos and you'll be like, oh my God, I love that color. And then you purchase it and you get it in real life and it's totally nothing like what I thought it would be. So I find this natural light setting helps. And what they are is they're smart light bulbs. I just picked them up from like a Home Depot and they are a bit more expensive. And all I have to do is flick the light switch constantly. Like, you flick it on, because I had it on the natural light, it'll come back on as a natural light. But then if I turn it off right away and turn it back on, it'll go to the next setting and then keep going from there. And it's hilarious because my husband still, we've had these light bulbs for a while now, he still has not figured out how to work them. And it cracks me up every time he tries. He's like, I don't understand. So I'm just trying to get the gems in here. So I thought for this whip and chat, not a trat, it would be good to do a little bit of an introduction. So you've seen a lot of my videos. I've posted only unboxing videos of the paintings I've picked up. And I just recently put up also a video showing some of my completed diamond paintings to show, you know, I don't just buy them. I actually do the diamond painting. So I have those videos up, or that video up. And I do have a couple videos here I want to shoot of post reviews. So I have got 2 paintings here that I have completed since I decided to start my channel. So I'm going to do a shoot those videos hopefully in the next couple days. But I thought for this whip and chat, it'd be a good topic to start off with a little bit about myself. So my name is Kat, or Catherine, but most people do know me as Kat. As I've said, I live in Ontario, Canada. And as you probably have gathered from my videos, I do have 2 daughters. So I have a 7-year-old and a soon-to-be 4-year-old. She'll be 4 in a couple weeks. And their names are Emily and Zoe. And I have a husband. So he's a lot of fun. He loves this diamond painting adventure I'm on. And we live here with our cat, Bonnie, and our fish, Violet. Yeah, so we have our kitty cat, and the kids, well, more importantly, Zoe, so my 4-year-old, she's hilarious. She really wants a dog, and I'm not against dogs at all. Like, I actually really like them. I grew up with dogs my whole life. They're adorable. They're so much fun. But when me and my husband first moved in together, we got 2 cats, and it was Bonnie and Clyde. Because I had never had cats growing up, and I loved cats. And so my husband bought me 2 kittens when we first moved in together, because he worked a lot of long hours, and he thought it'd be nice company for me to have the 2 cats. So we got them, gosh, like 16 years ago. And poor Clyde passed away 2 years ago. We had to put her to sleep. They believe something was wrong with her heart. She was having problems breathing, and she was wheezing all the time. And, you know, you can't put an animal through that. So as much as it broke my heart, we had to put her to sleep. And it was really hard for me. As I said, growing up, I always had pets in the house. We always had dogs. So I've gone through it before in my life on putting a pet down, but this was the first time that I had to put down my baby. So a pet that I've owned and been the mama to. And it was really traumatic and hard. So as we've explained to the girls, Bonnie, our cat who's still with us, she's petrified of dogs. Different times in our life when we've been moving houses and we've had a bit of a transition in between the homes, we've had to stay with family, and the families that we've, my mom and dad that we had to stay with, and had a dog, and Bonnie's petrified of them. She shakes and excuse me, she won't go around anywhere. I mean, she's just absolutely petrified. So as I've explained to the girls, we cannot bring a puppy into the house while the cat is still with us. It's just not fair. She's elderly. I'm just not going to have the rest of her days where she's going to be uncomfortable. So once Bonnie's no longer with us, I've told the girls that we will look into getting a puppy. And especially now, it seems like a good time in our life because I do work part-time. I work close by to home, so I can come home on my lunches and let the puppy out. I'm available to do the training and stuff, so it's a good time to do it. I do think that Bonnie will not be with us that much longer. It's terrible to say, and it makes me super sad. But she is getting up there. She is 16 years old. And so, I mean, she's lived a beautiful cat life. But I have started noticing lately just some subtle changes with her. And she seems to think that the litter box all of a sudden is a selective choice as opposed to what she should be doing. So that's getting a bit annoying, having to clean up. In fact, I think she might have gone outside of her litter box. So we had to clean up the floor. So that to me is a sign. But yeah, Zoe came to me one day and she's like, okay, I'm good. I've had our fish and our cat for a while now. Let's trade them both in and get a dog. I'm like, Zoe, it doesn't work that way. You can't trade in your pets to get something else. They're a part of the family. And our fish is actually a pretty new pet to us. It's been about a couple months. It's a beta fish, and no plans to get her. And we went, my oldest daughter, she's 7, and during March break, the library here put on a free event for Zumba. So I took her over to go do the Zumba, and she's exceptionally shy. And we get all ready and we rush in. And I mean, it was an episode even leading up to it because, oh, flying gem. Because we get there, and I'm one of those people who I have to be on time for everything. So we get there, and for once in my life, I get there right before something starts. And normally I'm a get there so early I have to sit around and wait type of person. But we get there this time right before we start, right before it's supposed to start. And I realized I don't have indoor shoes for her. And it clearly said on the paper I had to have indoor shoes. So the tears start flowing. You know, I was looking so forward to this, and she really was. She was so excited. So I felt like the worst mother ever. So I rush all the way home, and we rush back to the gym. And I mean, it's not a super far way away, but I mean, it is a 15 minute drive. So I rush home, I grab her shoes, we rush back to the gym, we go in, we get ready, and she takes one step into the gym, and there are, oh, flying gem. There are tons and tons of kids and parents, and she stops dead still. She does not want to go in there at all. So I'm like, there was nothing I could do to convince this child to go in. I mean, and I tried everything. I'm like, I can do the Zumba with you. We can go stand in the back. And she wouldn't do it. She was too afraid. There was too many people. And she was like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like at Sparks when there was just a small group of us. And then, so I'm like, okay, because she's bawling her eyes out at this point. And there were some older kids there, and they were kind of looking at her and laughing at her, which made me super angry. Because when I say older kids, they're only like 10, these girls. And here you are laughing at a kid who you can clearly tell is young, like very young. Like, grow up, honestly. But anyways, my main goal at that point then was to get her out of there, because I didn't want these kids laughing at her, and I didn't want her to see them laughing at her, because that would probably make her more upset and embarrassed. So I got her out of there pretty quick, and then we're in the parking lot, and then she starts crying again. I was looking so forward to doing it, and I can't believe it, and I'm so sad, and oh, she was just devastated that she didn't have the courage to go and do it. And I felt terrible then, because and to be honest, and I think other mothers can relate, I didn't know how to fix the situation. Well, how I ended up fixing the situation is I have no clue how it happened, but I ended up at the pet store buying a fish, and we've never had a fish before. And later on, when I was talking to my husband later, and he was like, okay, I get that Emily got scared and you guys didn't go to the Zumba. What I don't understand is how you go from Zumba to us now owning a new pet, a fish. Like, how? I'm like, you know what? You weren't there. You didn't see how it went down. It escalated in ways you just will not understand. But anyway, she ended up being really happy then at having the fish, and she was really into setting up the tank, and so that's what we ended up doing for the rest of the day. And so now we have this fish, Violet, and I do have to say that the excitement for the kids lasted a week, maybe. So now I like to say that I now have a fish, because I'm the only one who pays attention to the poor thing. And but I like it. It's super cute. I find it relaxing looking at her swimming around, and she's pretty neat. She likes to play, which I did not know. I had to Google it after. But she actually likes to dig into the gravel in the bottom of her tank and like shoot it up. So she's kind of like playing. That's pretty neat. So I have the videos shot, but I still have to post them to my channel. 2 more paintings that I picked up from the AliExpress anniversary sale. So I'm going to get those up in the next couple days, I hope. And then I have a few paintings that I purchased this month. I don't remember off the top of my head how many, but not a crazy amount. And I am going to hold off on purchasing, I think, for the next little while, just because my number, as I said, is coming up to get my choice for the diamond painting pens. So I'm using my craft budget this month for that. Yay, 1 wheel done of 2. Okay, so let's, not to make you guys dizzy, but I am going to flip it around a little bit here. So I'm using my budget for that. And then, of course, Diamond Art Club came out with new release of their paintings. So there's been a couple new releases. And I purposely waited. I didn't purchase when the first new release came out because I am in Canada, the exchange rate is so high and the shipping is high. And that's not on them. That's like the dollar. They can't affect that. And same with shipping. That's not their fault. It costs a lot of money to ship stuff here in Canada. It's actually kind of ridiculous. So that's not on them at all. But I do have to limit my purchases from them. So I wanted to see everything kind of what's coming out and then make my decision of what I want to purchase. So now that it's out, I am going to make my selection of what I want to get. But it is very hard because, of course, there's a lot I want to pick up from them. So to make that choice, I think I have it narrowed down. But I just have to run the exchange rate to see exactly what I will be spending because as everybody, I'm sure, you have a budget. And, you know, I only work part-time and I have the 2 kids. And so we do, sorry, I'm going to spin you guys again. I'm going to try to limit my spinning. So I think the next time I do a whip and chat, sorry to go all over the place here. I think I'll try it from the side next time, and then you guys can let me know what you like better, because I mean, I've laid all the twos here in the wheel, but I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera here. So we'll, you know, thanks for sticking with me. It's a bit of a trial and error since I've never done it before as I stick to the canvas. Okay, let's go do these twos down here. And I just shot a gem across the floor. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, everyone's got a budget. I mean, we can't go crazy spending money on our crafts like crazy, right? I have to get stuff for the family, and my daughter's going on a Spark camping trip, so I've got to pick up a bunch of stuff for that. So I do have a budget. So I kind of have to run the exchange rate and see exactly how much I will be spending, with also knowing that my number is coming up for those pens soon, and that will be pretty expensive with the shipping. And also I'm going to assume I'm going to have to pay customs, like taxes on it when it comes in. So I need to be ready for that. But I think I have it narrowed down to 2 or 3 that I'm going to get with them. And I'm the type of person, I like to get my paintings from all over the place. So I don't really have a set place that I prefer. I like the different stores for different reasons and for the different images that I'm able to pick up. So I buy a lot from AliExpress. Well, so my journey started with diamond painting probably September, I'm going to say 2018. And I mean, I've seen it around before then. So I'd see ads on like Facebook or online on different sites. And I'm pretty sure I saw it in Michael's too. And I kind of looked at it and kind of did one of those, all right, I'm not looking. I do not want to see what it is. Because I knew my personality. I knew if I got into it, I was going to have trouble. And as I said before, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so I already pretty heavily invested in paper crafting. I have a whole scrapbooking room and office downstairs, and I do a lot with that. So I was like, I can't. I don't want to look at it. I know I am going to become obsessed, and it's going to be issues. So I never looked at it. And then one morning I'm sitting there sipping my coffee, watching my YouTube videos of some of the scrapbooking women I follow. And I do apologize. I forget the name. I forget who posted the video. And she's only ever put paper crafting on her channel. And then all of a sudden she posts a video of diamond painting. So showing a video of a completed diamond painting she had done, and then also of a couple canvases she had picked up. After I watched that video, within 15 minutes, I had 6 canvases coming to me from Amazon. I was done. It was ridiculous. So the first ones that I ordered were from Amazon, and they were partials. And you know, each painting I picked out, I had to have a reason for getting it. I had to know where I was going to put it, because I was like, I'm not buying these just for the heck of doing them. I want to buy them and actually put them somewhere. So I picked out, you know, one that I thought that would go good in my scrapbooking office on the wall. And then I let my oldest daughter pick out one that we could put in her room. So she picked out the partial elephant with mainly purples in it, and her room's purple. Let's put a gem on the pen. So she picked out that one, and then my youngest picked out the pink flamingo with assistance from me, because she does love flamingos and her room is pink. So then I picked up, I think, a couple fulls, but they all had a purpose. Each one I was like, this is gonna go here. I'm gonna do this with this one. This one's gonna go there. And I got the first bunch in the mail. And I mean, I completed it in no time. And I had so much fun doing it. It was ridiculous how much fun I enjoyed. how much fun I had. And then it was a slippery slope from there. The next place I investigated was Wish. So I downloaded the app on my phone and I bought some paintings from Wish. I tried to do the AliExpress because, of course, then I started looking up YouTube videos on diamond painting and checking out people with that. And I couldn't get the AliExpress app to properly load on my phone, and it wouldn't set Canadian settings. Like, it kept reverting back to US. Actually, I don't think US. I think it kept reverting back to France for some odd reason. I have no idea why. But I couldn't get it to work. So I was like, yeah, forget that. I'm not dealing with struggle. So I ordered a bunch of them from Wish. And Wish is good. I'm going to give these a little shake. But I don't like how you get size options with Wish, but there's not a lot of options. Like, you might get like 3 or 4 options, at least for everything that I've seen. And a lot of the paintings, while they give you a larger size, I don't think it's the best larger size for what the canvas image is, right? So, like, they're not going to turn out. So a bunch of the ones I originally picked up from Wish were, like, I don't think they're going to turn out very good. And some of them I picked up the biggest size that they had, knowing that I would need a big size. And it's still not big enough, I don't think. So I'm kind of working through a bunch of those paintings and trying to get those ones completed. So, and then out of nowhere, a few months ago, I was like, okay, that's it. I really want to try and buy something from AliExpress. And I know I could get it to work on my laptop, but I don't spend a lot of time on my laptop, mostly because I am with the kids and I'm just not going to sit there with the computer. I do a lot of my odds and ends stuff in between house chores or doing stuff with the kids. And I'm not going to pull out a computer to do that. So anyways, one day I was like, okay, I got to try and figure out this AliExpress thing. And I was able to set up the app correctly on my phone. And then thankfully, that was right before shortly before that AliExpress sale. No, it was a while before the AliExpress sale because I was able to fully fool around with the app and check things out and see kind of how it worked. So I was ready to go for that sale. I had my stuff picked out. I had my coupon saved up. And, you know, I think I did pretty good with the coupons that I had. I know a lot of people were saying that the sale wasn't that great. And, yeah, I mean, the stuff I don't think was on sale for a lot cheaper than what the paintings were. Like, you weren't saving a ton there. But if you stacked those coupons and if you did it all together, I think is kind of how it worked, you could stack the coupons and then end up saving quite a bit, right? So I placed like one big order with multiple things, and I could stack on quite a few coupons, like with the store coupons and then the select coupons and the AliExpress ones. So I saved quite a bit of money. And the customs I got, actually, they were on a pretty good discount. I think I got a really good deal on them because I only paid like $16 or $17 for each of them. And, you know, that's aside from the canvases. But when I went back to look after the sale was done, they were like $24. And that's all in Canadian. So I think I did pretty good with those. It's been a fun adventure, a slippery slope. Right now I'm at the point where I think I have like 30 canvases in my stash to work on. And that's not including the stuff that I'm currently waiting for. So I have about 30, and that's pretty much where I don't want much more than that. You know, this is supposed to be a relaxing hobby, and for some bizarre reason, it does give me a little bit of anxiety to sit there and go, oh my God, I have spent X amount of money And I have 30 of these pictures that I have to work on. And they're just sitting there. So I don't want to purchase much more than that. That being said, I do work on it continuously. But I do know, like, some of the paintings I have there are ones that my daughter Emily is working on. Like, she's working on one, and she's been working, it's a partial of two giraffes, which I'm obsessed with. Giraffes are my thing. I've got giraffes everywhere. But it's taking her quite a while to do it. So there's a couple of paintings that I have there are ones that I'm not going to work on. There were ones that came as partials when they should have been full, or they're an image that's smaller that she really wants to do. So I like to think of those as not in my stash because that's hers. I'm not planning on working on them. So that makes me feel a little bit better. And then there's a few, like the smaller square ones. I don't really work on those. Like, when I say smaller square, I don't mean square diamond paintings. I mean like smaller canvas sizes. There are a lot of the ones that I picked up from Peggy Buy. I'm not going to work on at home. I kind of save those for vacations or if I'm going somewhere because they're easy to pack up, and then I'm not worried about crinkling the canvases when I'm going somewhere. So there are ones I'm never going to work on at home. I'm going to save my time for my bigger pieces. So I have those all kind of marked as that, and that also makes me feel better knowing that those I'm not going to complete unless I go on vacation or something. So I have that. And for me, I've mentioned it before, there's some people who just like squares. There's some people who just like rounds. I'm not picky one way or the other. I like both rounds and squares, and I try to rotate doing them. So if I do a square painting, the next one I'm probably want to pick out from my stash would be a square, just to kind of switch it up a little. I do find the squares take me longer, as I think with a lot of people they do. So I like to switch that up. And the other thing I like to switch up, if I do a painting that's predominantly dark colors, my next one, I'm probably going to want to do one that's going to have lighter colors. So I don't want to constantly be focusing on dark. I want the bright. And I actually don't really like partials. I try to be really careful about not purchasing partials, with the exception of the one we are working on here now. Because it has this writing over here, "Life is a Beautiful Ride," I thought I would have to get it in a pretty substantially large size because of the script. And for what I want to do with this painting, I want to put it in a frame and put it in my spare bedroom. I don't want it big. I want it as something that can sit on a shelf. So I thought, okay, let's just get the partial. It wasn't very expensive. And as I said in the description of this video, I'll put a link to my unboxing so you'll be able to see the price. I didn't pay a lot for it, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get it. We'll do it. We'll see if I like it. And if I don't, it's not that big of a deal because I didn't pay that much for it. I'm not going to be hurt or anything. But I have seen this one completed in a full, and it's gorgeous. Like the colors in it. And that's what I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this basket up here with the flowers is going to turn out. So we're almost done with my twos here. Today is garbage day here for us. So I took the kids to school, and as I do every Thursday, I take them to school, and then I come back to the house and get the garbages ready to go outside. But I opened up the front door this morning to go get all the backpacks in the car, and I, get everything ready before I take the kids out. And we have houses down the side of us. We're on the corner, And oh my goodness, our neighbors, and we live in a new development. So lots of times when I shoot videos, if I shoot them during the day and it's a weekday, you may hear a lot of trucks and stuff because it's a new development and they're still building houses across the street from us. But we live on a corner and we've got houses facing the side of our house. So we're like, here's our house, and then we have town houses here, so facing this way, and there's a road right here. And so anyways, people have just moved into those houses and they put out their recycling. And the recycling bins here are open. So they're just like square little bins. And they've put their recycling in it, and it's windy here today. My lot, my property, is covered in garbage. Absolutely covered. So I had to go out there and pick up all kinds of like food containers and boxes, kids like homework and stuff. And like, I don't know about you guys, but like I clean up enough of my kids' paperwork. I don't need to be crawling around on my lawn picking up other people's notebooks and stuff like that, and assignments and school forms and yada yada. So I was super annoyed about that. On windy days here, I actually buy I have designated recycling plastic bags, so I can put all of the garbage in those bags so that they're not blowing all over my neighbor's property, which is the nice thing to do. So, and now these people have just moved in. So like I texted my husband and I'm like, oh good God, you should see what our property looks like. And you know it's going to keep happening, right? Because now we know that the garbage is going to flow that way, right? So I'm like, oh, this is going to be such a mess. So it's a little bit gross out there. And then I go to get the garbage. It was a bit of a fiasco in here. So I go to get the garbage out of the garage, and I open up the garage door, walk right into a huge spider web. Yeah. It's just one of those days for me here today. And also, it's going to be an interesting day. So that's why I decided to do a little diamond painting before I continue on. So Thursdays, I try to set like a cleaning schedule for myself, or else like God knows what I'll end up doing on my days off when I'm not working. And so Thursdays are my washroom days. So I kind of have it set up that like once a week I do a quick once over on my washroom. So I make sure all my counters are washed down. I'll sweep the floor, tidy it up. I just make sure that we're clean, right? And I think I'm done with the twos. So we're gonna hold the story. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put the baggie in the tray here with the two, because we all know that while I think I have all the twos, there's a very good chance I'm going back to put some in. So the next color I think I wanna pull out is going to be, let's do a 4. Let's take a sip of coffee. Excuse me, I am a coffee fanatic. And we'll get the 4 out. So, as I was saying, I kind of wash down all the washrooms and stuff like that. And then pull out another tray. And then every so many, couple weeks, I'll do a deep clean of the washroom, right? And make sure it's cleaned to the extreme. But anyway, so we have 3 washrooms in the house. I have 2 washrooms upstairs that are full washrooms, and then I have a powder room downstairs. So I'll go through all 3 of them today. But the girls, my 2 daughters, share a washroom upstairs. And, obviously the 7-year-old brushes her teeth on her own because she's 7 and she should do that. But so is my 4-year-old. And she is one of those children where we've never been able to help her with anything. She's very, very independent on everything that she does. So even when she was a baby, and at the time when you should start giving her baby food, we couldn't. She would not allow us to feed her. So I would almost have to make everything into a solid for her to feed herself, right? Like some form of a solid, because she couldn't hold a spoon, right? So she's been brushing her teeth on her own for quite a while. That's not to say we do inspections, you know, obviously to make sure she is brushing correctly and that her teeth are clean. And, you know, so the girls go in to brush their teeth. We kind of stand on the outside of the washroom just to make sure everything's going down right, especially at bedtime. And, you know, and then we will check their mouths, the kind of thing, and make sure we're all good. But we let them do it independently. So I go upstairs to collect the garbage from the washroom. It looks like they had a war with the toothpaste. I have no idea what went down with them. There is toothpaste on the mirror. There's toothpaste all over the counter. It's on the floor by the toilet, and I know they're not brushing their teeth while they're sitting on the toilet because I am there. I have no idea what happened with them. It's actually kind of frightening. Like, the toothpaste most definitely did not win that fight. And the funniest part is, because we are just outside of the room when they brush their teeth, I didn't hear a fight. I didn't, or hear any, like, drama going on of them, like, giggling or, like, being like, oh my gosh, the toothpaste shot out of the container. No, I heard nothing. So I have no idea when or how this happened. And it's not like it's been there forever, because I do obviously go into the room all the time. And actually, like, there's so much toothpaste all over the place in that room that I'm not even sure how it got accomplished. I don't get it. Like, did they think the counter needed to brush their teeth? But I don't know how much of it would be my 7-year-old. She's a pretty responsible kid. And like most kids, from what I've heard of talking to other moms, it is common that I have, like, the polar opposites, right? So, like, my 7-year-old is super responsible. You know, she's kind of shy and timid. She loves to read. She loves Lego. She's a very self-planner. She does her homework and her spelling words. And, you know, she's like a perfectionist, right? And, like, when we do cleanups, like, the Barbie stuff has to go in the Barbie bin, and the Lego has to go in the Lego bin, and arts and crafts that go here. You know, she's like type A personality. My 4-year-old is the polar opposite. She could walk into a room and destroy it. Like, empty the shelves, tear all the books off a shelf, empty her closet, her dresser. And she could only be in a room for 5 minutes on her own. Like, she's got skills, but in different ways. And she's really active, right? Like, so she can't sit still. I don't know how many shows I've actually seen her sit through without getting up and doing something, which is not a bad thing, right? Like, she's got energy. She's not one of those kids to sit there, and not that we would let them anyways, but she's not one of those kids that are going to sit there and watch TV all day. She has to be doing something. She's a very active child, which, you know, keeps you on your toes. So I'm fairly confident that she was involved with the Great Toothpaste War of May, because that's what we're going to call it. And I definitely wouldn't be surprised. So I do have to say, with these gems here that for this painting, they're actually really good. These circles, that one slid a little bit too far. These circles are pretty uniform in size. Lots of times I've noticed with the round gems, you can get them with at least I find, more than with the square gems. You can get the holes in the top, but I haven't come across a single one. And they're all pretty similar. Whoa, doubles. They're all pretty similar in size. The canvas is pretty sticky. So I'm working on another one right now, and I normally only work on one painting at a time. But I thought I would pull this one out special just to do my WIP and chats. I'm working on another one right now, and it's, ironically enough, I unboxed it a while ago, and I purchased it from Peggy Buy. And it's that stained glass Elsa. And I kitted it up to work on after I finished the last painting that I did. And I literally kitted it up the day before Diamond Art Club put the sneak peek out that they're coming out with that stained glass Elsa. I had no comprehension that it was a Mandy Manzano art piece. I feel like I should have known because it is her style, but I've seen so many of those stained glasses everywhere, not just on AliExpress, but everywhere, that it literally never clicked in my brain that that's who did it. So, you know, I had some guilt over that because I do feel, you know, obviously the artist she got ripped off and is continuously, as a lot of people are talking about. But anyways, I didn't know. I feel like it's different when you know and you buy it versus when you buy it and you had no idea. But anyways, that's a story for another day. I kitted it up and then I saw that the next day and went, huh. So then I went through like morals in my head and whether I wanted to do the painting or not. And I kind of came to the decision. I really didn't know that it was her art piece. So I purchased it without being aware. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it for that reason. And I still haven't decided. I'm about halfway through it now. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to do a post review or not on it. Simply because I do know now that it is a stolen piece of artwork. So I'm not sure if I want to give it the publicity. I don't think it's for sale on Peggy Buy anymore, but you can definitely get the image on AliExpress. So I don't know if I want to necessarily put the publicity out there of the painting. But in the same breath, the painting looks so terrible and has been so terrible to work on. Part of me feels like I may want to put it out there to show the difference of what purchasing it from somewhere else versus if you purchase the one from Diamond Art Club, what the difference would be, because it actually looks kind of frightening. Elsa is definitely not turning out okay. And the quality is just not there. Like the canvas, like I can't use a multi-placer on it because as soon as I put the placement down, all the gems come up with it because the canvas isn't sticky, right? So like I need to single place all the gems because I really need to make sure that it's mashed in there. And they move, like they're moving all over the place, and there's a lot of trash. So I'm definitely not happy with it. I have always said since I started, even if I'm not happy with something that I'm working on, and this is really hard to stick by, but even if I'm not happy with something that I'm working on, I'm going to go ahead and finish it because I don't know what it's going to look like when it's fully done. And I want to, I bought it, I paid the money for it, so I'm going to finish it. And if it's not something that I'm going to put up somewhere, well, then I'm going to make the decision of what I'm going to do with it. So I've been tossing around the idea, like I've seen a lot of people pick up those art portfolios. So I may do that, but a lot of the canvases that I pick up, they wouldn't fit. Like that Elsa one for sure isn't going to fit in there. And it's definitely not a piece because I did go through the part in my head after I found out that it was a stolen piece of artwork. I did go through, and whether I wanted to still do it, I did go through the stage of, okay, so I have it. I paid money for it. I didn't know it was stolen, so there was nothing. It's not like I maliciously went out there to find it. Maybe I'll just do it, and then I can donate it to like the pediatric ward or like a kid's place somewhere. And then that would make me feel better about it if I donated it to a hospital or a children's group or that kind of thing. And so that's Oh, let me move you into frame. So that's kind of where my head was going for a while there, was like, okay, that'll make me feel better if I donate it somewhere for kids. Now that I'm working on it, there is no way that I can give that to a kids hospital because it's frightening. She looks scary. Even my kids said that she looks scary. So that's not going to be an option. And you kind of feel weird about finishing the painting and throwing it out because, okay, come on, Jem. Because you spend a lot of time on it. So I have no clue what I want to do with it. I'm not sure. I've done the top part of it, so I've gone through her face, and like the top portion of her dress kind of thing. So I've gone through the part that has the detail, and it's terrible. So I don't know. I haven't decided. I'll have to think about it. I mean, if any of you guys have any opinions, whether you think it's a good idea or not for me to do a post review, simply to show like just the type of quality you would get when you don't get the Diamond Art Club version. Just leave a comment in the video, just leave a comment below. Words are hard. Words are hard here today. Thursdays are always a busy day for us because the girls have gymnastics, which thankfully, okay, that one didn't go on straight. Thankfully, I've come to the point in my life where the girls start at the same time. So I dropped them both off. I have to stay there because obviously my youngest is only 4. So I do have to stay there, but both the kids are in there doing an activity at exactly the same time. So it's perfect because it's like mommy free time. And I've, got my little mommy friends I can talk to while the girls are doing their thing, and they enjoy it. So Thursday nights are our busy nights. Not to say that other nights we don't have stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff to do next week. My oldest has decided she's going to go on her, well, not her, but her Sparks unit is going on a camping trip, and they do one every May. And last year there was no way, like she wasn't going to go. But this year she surprised me because she's 7, but she's still, where she's super timid and stuff like that. We still have to put her to bed every night. So she puts herself to sleep, but she needs someone to be in the room with her. So she'll read she's a big reader and she's really into like chapter books right now. She's ahead in her reading. So she does a lot of reading. She's really into the book series Ivy and Bean right now. I don't know if other people know the kids' books. But anyways, so someone's got to be in the room with her. And she's got this bunny, and this bunny is her life source, Floppy. Like if something ever happened to Floppy, we would not be okay. She would lose her mind. And in fact, I would lose my mind because she's been attached to this thing like glue since she's been like 2. So there's always like if Floppy goes somewhere before, and the whole family knows there has to be a Floppy check. Like Floppy has got to be there. Anyways, so the Sparks are going on this camping trip. And she comes to me and she's like, okay, Mom, I really want to go camping. And it completely floored me because it's out of her character. So I'm like, okay, Emily, like you do know Mommy can't go with you on this camping trip. And she said, I know. And it's going to be in a cabin and her whole unit will be staying there together. So we talked about it, and it's only about a half an hour away from where we live. So it's not super far, but it is country roads. I do live kind of, like not in the country, but definitely I live in a smaller town. So the country's like just right there. So it's off a country road kind of thing. And my husband does work weekends, some weekends, not all the time. But so I had to make sure he was available because I don't like driving at night on those roads. Like they're not lit and they're, not the greatest. So that if she does have a problem and she gets really upset, we can go pick her up. So he said, yeah, I'll go get her if she has a hard time. And so I don't know how it's going to go exactly. She seems pretty insistent that she wants to do it. And I'd be so proud and happy of her if, you know, I'm always proud and happy for her, but I'd be so happy if she ends up doing it and staying overnight. You know, they had said that there's an option that if the girls want to go, and a bunch of the girls are doing that, that if they want to go, they can go, and then the parents can come pick them up at 8 o'clock at night so that they don't have to stay overnight. So I gave that option to her, and she's like, no, I think I really want to try sleeping there. So I'm like, okay, we'll see how it goes. Now, she has come to say to me, I've decided that I'm not going to bring Floppy with me, which I think was a good decision, because we've talked about that she's got to be responsible for her own stuff there, you know, that mommy's not going. So mommy's not going to be picking up your clothes and your odds and ends. Like, you have to be responsible and put your stuff back in your bag and that kind of thing. So she had come to me after we had that discussion, and she's like, you know, I think I've made a decision. I think Floppy cannot go camping, because if something happened to her, I would never forgive myself. So I think that was a good decision on her part. You know, to not take the chance of losing the bunny. So we'll see how it goes. I'm so curious. Now, that all being said, I'm literally going to spend my whole next week prepping for this thing, because they sent us like the packing list the other day. It's like 2 pages long. Like, the camping trip wasn't very expensive. It was only like $50 Canadian. So I thought that was a great price just for one night. But then after I got this list, like I was saying to my husband, I'm like, well, that's great and all, but now I'm going to spend probably almost $100 with all the odds and ends they want us to bring with them. Like, I totally didn't realize she'd have to bring her own dishes. Makes sense. Like, I remember it from a kid. You'd have to bring your own stuff, right? They don't supply any of that. So now I got to go out next week and put it all together. And then, like, me and one of the other moms were saying, when we were talking about it after we got the list, we were like, okay, how the heck are we going to pack this all? Like, not to mention, once we get it all packed, like, have they seen the size of these kids? Like, they're little. How are they going to carry a bag big enough to fit all of this stuff? Like, it makes no sense. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be fun to try and get ready for. It's new for me. I hope she can do it, though. I'll have to keep you guys updated on my next WIP and chat to see, did we go get her or did she make it the night? Now, the leader did say that, like, they've obviously have come into the circumstances before where the parents have said, you know, the kids, you know, they need to be put to bed at night. They're nervous and stuff. And like she said, you know, they wake up, or sorry, we drop them off at 8 a.m. in the morning on the Saturday, and they have a scheduled hike at 8:30 in the morning. And from that point on, they are doing something on the schedule until 8 o'clock at night. So she's like, those girls are exhausted. That generally, for the most part, she said, all the parents, all the kids who have come before, who I've been told can't sleep on their own and that the parents were worried about it, in most cases, they end up going to sleep because they crash. They're exhausted. They're little, right? They're not used to doing that, and especially being out in the fresh air for that long. So I'm really hopeful for her and being able to do that. And to actually get outdoors. Like, and I think most people, no matter where you are, we've all been in the same boat. Like, it's terrible. It's been terrible weather. Like, it's still pretty cold here in the mornings. We had snow still like a couple weeks ago. Now, it didn't last, but it's still, my lawn was covered with it. It was terrible. Terrible, terrible. Okay, so I got a gem stuck to my hand. This one here, I'm gonna trash. One of the edges looks a bit off to the side. So we've been just starting to go out to the park a little bit. We've got a little kids park just around the corner. And it was so funny. My husband took the kids to the park while I made dinner the other day. And so Zoe comes in and she's like, she's a very dramatic child. And she's like, oh, Mama, there was the most handsome boy at the park today. He was so handsome. I just couldn't stop looking at him. But I had to say to myself 3 times that you're gonna marry Kale. And Kale's this little boy from her old preschool that she still talks about all the time. She says that she's gonna marry him. And it's a sin because they don't go to the same place anymore. But she still remembers him from like over a year ago. And she said, so I said to myself 3 times, you're gonna marry Kale. You're gonna marry Kale. But this boy, this handsome boy at the park, he had a Paw Patrol helmet. It's just so hard. And she's shaking her head as she's walking away. And she's serious this whole time. So I'm trying to hold it together because I don't want to, I gotta get some more wax. I don't want to laugh in front of her. But I was just dying. And then my husband comes in behind her and he's shaking his head. He's like, I cannot believe that I'm taking the kids to the park and I'm already having boy problems and she's 4. Like, that's ridiculous. He was so like grumpy about it. And he's like, and this little boy apparently followed her around the whole time at the park. And Zoe just thought it was the greatest thing on earth. And as she said, he was so handsome. So God knows what my life is going to be like when they're teenagers. She's got a hilarious personality. She's a big time girly girl. So she's got to wear dresses every day she goes to school. So I, of course, put like leggings on underneath her dress because, yeah, hi, it's cold outside. But anyways, we go out to a restaurant and she's got to bring a purse when we go out anywhere like that to a restaurant or something. So she has her purse and my mom and sister were there. So we were like, my sister asked her, Zoe, what did you bring in your purse? You know, to keep her busy while we're waiting for the waitress and stuff. And so she starts to pull like things out of her purse and she, you know, she's got her play cell phone and her keys and she's got a lip gloss. And then she pulls out a knife, like a plastic knife from her mini kitchen set. Only my child will pack and then pull out a knife out of her purse right as the waitress comes, lays it on the table. Oh my God, that child. We often joke that we're in trouble for when she becomes a teenager. Clearly, she's already packing knives when she's 4 when she goes out to a restaurant. We asked her, we were like, Zoe, why did you think that you needed to bring a knife in your purse? And she had said, she's like, you know, in case I needed it for my dinner. I didn't know if the restaurant would have a knife. So, I mean, she clearly had thought the process out about whether she should pack it or not because she had a good answer for it. She's hilarious. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm curious to see how the colors are gonna work together. I can see that, so I'm on my second color here and I'm already an hour long. So I'll probably finish up this color and then that'll be it for the WIP and Chat today. Apparently I gotta go do some cleaning, so I cannot sit here and diamond paint all day. Not that you guys would wanna sit here and watch a WIP and Chat for like 4 hours, but I will, I'll put this one aside and pick it up again when I go to do my next WIP and Chat. So we'll just work on this one together. Since I have my ever so frightening Elsa piece I'm working on, I'll save this one just for our WIP and Chats. Because I think an hour's long enough. I can't believe I had enough stuff to talk about for an hour. Apparently I have lots to share. We have been so busy this spring. So like every weekend it's a kid's birthday party. So I'm at play places or, you know, I'm driving the kids to like all different kinds of parties around town. Me and my husband, we've been busy with stuff. We've got weddings and wedding showers and events. Like it's been absolutely crazy. Like I can't even remember the last time I've been this busy with my life, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But I've got a lot of odds and ends to do today because I've fallen behind in, you know, I like to call it my maintenance, my house maintenance, right? So I want to wash my floors today. They're in desperate need of a good washing. So probably going to get that done after this WIP and chat. And go clean up the great toothpaste war up there in the washroom. Honestly, that's going to take me a while. As I said, I try to like, I don't know, not that I stick to the schedule, but I try to have a plan on what I do each day. And when I do like deep cleans of rooms, and like that room's not up for a deep clean because I just did one like about, I don't even think 2 weeks ago. It's totally needs a deep clean. Yeah, for sure. There's no way I'm quick cleaning that today. And it's of course bright blue toothpaste, right? And I have white tile floor. Or not like solid white, but like a marbly white. So like, yeah. Looks pretty brutal. Looks like a Smurf met its end in there. It's pretty hilarious, actually. Oh, I'm loving how it's looking. Now that I'm putting this orange in with the brown. At first I was kind of wondering like, really? Orange? It's kind of like a creamsicle type orange color. It's really pretty, actually. But it's looking pretty good. I think the next color I'll do is the 3s as I put this gem on a 3. Honestly, one track mind. I'm surprised I can even chat this much and diamond paint. Also, I think for the next one, maybe I will try doing it on, as opposed to like you guys being direct up and down. Maybe I'll try doing it from the side angle and then people can tell me what they like best. If anyone even watches it, which is totally cool if you don't. I know WIP and chats are not everyone's cup of tea, which is totally cool. We all are different and we like our different things. I like watching them. I like seeing what people are up to, hearing people's stories. I like the unboxings because, as I said, I try to buy only paintings like that I'm going to actually do something with. So there's so many out there that I love. And I would love to get them, but I'm not about to go and get them and then do nothing with them. So, as I bang you guys around, let's pull closer down here so it's a bit easier. So I like watching the unboxings because people unbox so many paintings that I like that I wouldn't go buy for myself. So I like seeing them. And then of course there's the ones out there that people unbox that I totally love and I do want to get for myself. But I'm sure I'm just like everybody else with that never-ending wish list of paintings. We are almost done with these 4s. So once I'm done, I will hold 5. I will hold you guys up so you can get a little bit of a closer view of what I've been doing. So after, as I said, I'm like halfway through my Scary Elsa. So at this point in time, I try to decide like, what am I gonna do next? So I have that, I think I'm gonna work, I think I figured it out. I think I'm gonna do, okay, words, Catherine. It's a pretty popular picture. A lot of people have it. It's with all the princesses laying down and then their hair swirls into the middle. So I think I'm going to work on that next. Now, I got it. I've seen it done now in a 70 by 70, and I think that's the optimal size for it. So I do wish I got it bigger, and I may still go back and purchase it at that size, maybe next time they have a sale or something. But I have it in a 40 by 40. And I did see, before I purchased it, I did get it from Wish, and that was the largest size that they offered on Wish from the store I purchased it from. It was the largest size available. So before I bought it, I did see, and I totally forget who it was. Someone did a YouTube video of a post review of that same painting at a 40 by 40 size, and it looked really good. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm good with that. I'm good to do the 40 by 40. But now as I look at people who have completed it at the 70 by 70, I'm like, I think that would be the perfect size. So I may just do it. I'm also kind of at the point, like I get with a lot of my paintings, where I'm like, when I do a painting and I'm not sure if it's going to turn out, the next painting I do, to not lose like my steam kind of thing, I want it to be one that I for sure know will turn out, right? Just because it sucks to do painting after painting and not be happy with it. Like, it's exhausting. So I'm not sure. I kind of want to get it done and see, and then I'll know and be able to make the decision of whether I want to go ahead and go out and purchase it later on at the 70 by 70 size. I'm not sure. Geez. Drama of a diamond painter. So I'm going to hold you up close to this wheel here. See how pretty it is? So I actually really like these gems. I haven't gotten them before. They're the PJ, and I got a bunch of them from my Piggy Buy with the PJ, and this painting came from Wish. I really like them. The PJ gems seem to have like an awesome sparkle. And I mean, I went through 2 colors, and that's the only gem that I pulled from it. And it's not even like, let's see if I can focus here. Focus. It's just the one side is like squared off a bit straight. And I've noticed that with other times I've worked on the ones that have been stamped the PJ, that they seem to be really good quality. So, well, I think that's it for today. We're at like an hour and 15 minutes. I swear I only thought I would do a whip and chat for about a half an hour. So that's pretty awesome that I was able to do it that long. And maybe that's a little bit too long for some people. So we'll have to judge it to see what people prefer. And I guess also when I do them, however much time I personally have on my hands, I will go ahead and pull my plastic cover back and protect it. As I said, I'm going to make sure I put it on the right side. I'll save this to work on, and we'll pull it out the next time we do a whip and chat. I'll bag up the colors that I already did and put these gems aside. I do normally kit up my paintings before I work on them. But for this painting with this small amount of colors and it just being a partial, I'm not going to take the effort to do that, and I'll just keep them in their bags and just pull them out as I need them. Thank you so much if you've made it to this point and watching me work on this and listening to me ramble about my life. I hope you got to know me a little bit better and what I'm about and what I'm doing here. And I want to thank everybody for subscribing. I think when I last looked, I had about 70-ish people. That's like more than anything that I could have ever thought. So I'm so happy to be joining everyone, and that I have you guys here. And I hope that you're enjoying the paintings that I'm posting. I know I am. I will always, as much as I like sharing with everybody what I do purchase things that I like, and that is my preference. And we're all different. We all have different preferences about what we pick up with our money. So I hope that you do enjoy them, and I hope to be back soon with another whip and chat. And I have lots of hopes here today, but I also hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you guys again soon. Thanks so much, and hopefully we'll be back for another whip and chat, and maybe, I don't know, next week maybe? We'll see. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.